There have been some technical trouble and people on vacation and all kinds of stuff unfolding, but here we are finally again. It's Friday, so it's Convergence. I feel like it's been a while, but that's only in my brain. Um, Someone tell me what happened the last time we played. Can't help it, she's been here longer than everyone else. Go on. Mm-hmm. Correct. That's pretty good. Um, and for the record, unfortunately for anyone that's watching, which is luckily right now might not be a whole ton of people, um, uh, audio is not coming through from my desktop, so people can hear me, but they can hear you guys. So I'm working on that. Quick, don't let them hear you say that. Wait, actually, Ben, say that again. I thought I saw something. Okay, well, Kara has to take a little break. She had a thing she was expecting. So unfortunately, technical difficulties. I'm gonna try to fix this while she's away. Um, I wish I was slightly more savvy in regards to this, but my problem is I want audio from my desktop, but it's only pulling audio devices for recording speakers. I want neither. Yes. Yeah, this is well, it shouldn't be the source. I mean, if I can do a temporary fix from now, I happily will do a source add. And then it's just asking me, which of these devices do you want? And these are all the same devices I don't want to use. Yeah, no, that exists. It's normally fine, but it's not picking anything up right now. Yeah, it's not that. It's not picking anything up at all from you guys. So let's see. Okay, maybe. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to properties. I'm gonna change this to this and hit done. Can somebody say something? Okay, nope. Lice. It isn't one thing, it's always another. Which is funny, it's one of those things, I can hear all of you perfectly fine. Yeah, yeah. If I would have not been so stressed out earlier from fixing my physical hardware problems, I would have figured this out sooner.
Yeah, I don't know. From watching several other streamers. Oh, you got it, CJ.
Nailed
it.
Weird. Okay, but we got there.
Now to mute it again so I don't have to hear my terrible voice.
Alrighty then. That's finished. I am uncertain as to how long Kara will be. But it's something that cannot be rushed. It is the family thing, so it's understandable. I kind of don't want to do the read and then do the read in again when she gets here. So honestly, we're gonna just kind of. True.
Yeah, we could do the.
Yeah. So yeah, Kara did a wonderful recap that no one heard. So if someone could recap Kara's recap, that would be a good way to fill this time and give people something to listen to that they missed out on. Anyone want to take that responsibility upon their shoulders?
I vote Kyle or Tim because I just heard my voice through Discord and made me all self-conscious.
I'm really not feeling it today. I'm sorry.
So is it gonna be me or you, Ben? That's what this is sounding like.
All right. Well, I guess I'll do it.
Thank you.
No problem. So last week we did some exploring in this lava cavern place. We ran into, we walked around for a bit and found like where the patrols were going in and out of some metal doors, and we decided to try and wait for one of the patrols to go by and maybe follow it or at least get a read of what kind of people we're dealing with. And they went by. People were a bit nervous because they had a guard drake, and they were like, they must be evil. But that's some assumptions.
We're not saying dragon cultists, but
yeah, we all assume dragon cultists. But anyways, and then they went by, and we were like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? And then some baby dragons came and started acting like they were about to hunt us. And then we were like, oh no, what should we do? Thankfully, the handmaiden knew Draconic and was like, yeah, I'll just talk to them, fools. Spoke to them and found out they wanted to play hide and seek, so we did that. Hasvard kicked their butts, and they gave them a gem?
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of gem. And they're like, here is our greatest treasure. This is for beating us little babies at hide and seek. And Hasbard was like, yes, take that, babies. I will have your greatest treasure. And then they told us we need to talk to their mom if we want to know stuff, because I guess their mom knows everything, which, again, babies think that.
Mm-hmm.
But we thought it was a good idea. We stopped a patrol. And the patrol was like, hey, what are you doing here? And we were like, we could ask you the same thing, but really, we want to meet your mom. And they were like, oh, okay, that's cool. And they took us to meet their mom, who turned out to be a character from much earlier in the campaign, Morgana, who, one of Tim's old characters, Ragnar, freed from captivity. And she has since set herself up here with lots of baby dragons, planning to build her own nation. Good, solid world conquering stuff. Dreams of greatness that you'd expect from somebody who controls dragons. I will note it because it was said by Kara during the description. Morgana did offer that Lithian would be able to learn how to be a dragon mother if she wanted, and it made Lithian very, very happy. Mm-hmm. And from there, we kind of caught up with each other a little bit, told each other what we've been up to, and she told us that there is a hermit or some guy living in this former ancient city, who is annoying to her. And, as powerful people do, she was like, get rid of him for me. He is annoying. And so we've set out to get rid of an annoying guy for her, in the hopes that either he carries the apostate card within him or knows of its existence somewhere. And that's, I think, everything she covered, everything I remember.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good. Pretty good. I suppose, for not knowing when Kara will return, given the breathe time was kind of just run out there, we're just gonna go on forward and do a succinct catch up for her when applicable. All right. We left off with the group piling into this still yet mysterious moving room, the lift, that the handmaiden has now been instructed upon how to use and operate. And with a small note given to you by Morgana's familiar, you begin descending back down into another part of the city. You were told that this hermit that you would likely benefit from getting rid of and finding tends to find himself wandering around a series of floors. Specifically, floor 70, 71, 72, and 73. Now, that is to say, each one of these floors is almost a small city unto itself. So there's a lot of space here to navigate. As logic would dictate, as you were descending, eventually, the glowing floor panel beneath you, as you see the bubbling, glowing lava that is responsible for lifting and lowering this platform, begins to fall away as you come to a slow at another location, and you watch as the doors in front of you part. You have arrived to floor 73. However, as the doors open, a shower of rocks and rubble begin to fill the lift. it looks like whatever was here, whatever was on the other side, has since collapsed. Should we just go to another floor?
Weren't we being led by the strangely Miss Body shaped assistant to a elevator? Or
We're in
Yeah,
we're in the device.
oh, the other side is collapsed. Oh,
yeah.
Yes, we arrived.
Yeah.
So you're on the floor, the door opened, and instead of there just being a place for you to exit, it is a wall of rubble and rock.
that's
And
awful.
it's slowly kind of rolled in partially to the lift.
Yeah, that seems smart. Otherwise, we're going to be going up and down trying to create a corridor.
I have no way of digging through these stones.
Oh, I miss Shnorba.
I was unaware of
Martel
any.
doesn't respond, but she clearly is a bit sad by the statement.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, let's go up to the next floor then.
Down it is.
Okay, down it is.
The handmaiden will reach out, pressing a few buttons and then eventually pulling a lever. The doors have a brief moment of struggle as they kind of force some of the rocks and dirt out of the way, kind of pushing more into the lift before finally snapping shut. And you feel yourself kind of jerk briefly, and then you descend, and you hear what is the pitter-patter of dirt and rock falling onto the top of this moving box you're in. But after another brief moment, you arrive to another location, and the doors part open. And in front of you is a wide avenue. It wanders further than your eyes can see in this dimly lit room, but it is partially illuminated by these tracks, as has become a bit of a theme, the tracks of covered and encased flowing lava on either side of this avenue. There are structures to the left and right, immediately to your left and right, that look like you'd expect this to sort of be almost like a market street. You can see what were the fronts of buildings that were once habitated and used by individuals, but now are left broken and abandoned. You can tell that there are multiple intersections and streets in front of you, of which also starts immediately at the lift. If you stick your head out and look left and right, there's a road that passes by as another intersection.
Yeah, Martel will step out of the lift. This looks like as good a place as any to start out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So where you going to begin looking? What's the plan?
That's a good question.
If each one is a small city, he sounds like a very agile individual, which means he's probably not going to be leaving tracks all that often. Literally, I guess it's just go around and investigate until we find something. Then when we see nothing on this floor, we move on to the next one. Of course, there's also always the option of setting up a fire pit and brewing a really tasty stew. See if he comes to the smell.
I can't tell if that was an honest suggestion from you or not, Hazard.
That's the point.
Oh, given that many tracking plans have been employed before to no success, I think conventional searching is probably not going to work.
So Stu it is.
Well, I think we should maybe wander around a bit first. Also, I think it would be wise from here on out to not really talk about him as if we know who he is, given the warning that we got upstairs.
Oh, is that what you think that was? Like a, if you are hostile, I will hurt you kind of warning?
I guess I'll just do it in character. No. Again, I was attempting to be subtle, but Morgana told us that if he thinks that she sent us, he's not going to let us find him. Which is why I think it would be wise to stop talking about her or him in any way that would indicate we know anything about him.
Little thumbs up with a smile. I still have more cheese for a charcuterie board later. So.
All smiles.
Where do you keep all of this cheese, Hazard?
Lithian's very handy interdimensional little sack.
Right. Good.
Um,
So I heard we're gonna lead in with a little bit of exploring.
yeah,
What manner of
Martel's plan, unless other
exploring?
people have better ones.
Well,
obviously we're suicide runners, so we're gonna go looking for items and like if there's anything that hasn't been found yet.
right. Well, if you're looking for stuff, I will take a perception check or a investigation check.
I know which one I'm doing.
The one you can't roll below 23 with.
Yeah. Oh, but I rolled a 29, so
Oh wow.
yeah.
Martel, Tajira, do you want to get in on that action?
Sure. 13.
Sorry, I wasn't fully paying attention because I was updating Lithian on what's happened. What action am I getting in on?
An investigation or a perception check for looking at stuff. Lithian, since you're here, do the same thing.
I will. I'm good at those.
Yeah.
Let's investigate.
Yeah, because I reminded the party that we are suicide runners.
You're looking for stuff.
That's right, yeah. I have an 8 investigation for Martel.
It's okay, you can party up with me.
26 perception.
Nice. Tajira, what was yours?
13.
13. Okay. So you kind of span off in various directions, walking through the skeleton of this weird encased city block that you stumbled upon. Many of these structures no longer have windows or doors affixed to them. There are buildings that are left crumbling and support beams that have since fallen or crumbled. There's a smell in the air that reminds all of you of ash, which is perhaps not too surprising. But it's really the first time you've noticed it since being here, since actively searching in an area where you don't feel like any direct threat is going to fall upon you. Tajira, you enter into one of the buildings, and you find the first room. It's a large open room, black stone tiling. There was once a wall that bisected this room with what was beyond it, but it is mostly crumbled and fallen apart. And you can see in the shattered remnants of the room just beyond that wall what looks like several piles of scrap armor. It looks like something happened or unfolded in the room beyond.
I guess you'll continue investigating. That was a perception.
You're gonna take a little more time to sort of keep investigating. We're gonna roll again, and we're gonna come back after Tajir has had a little time with it. But you give me that investigation or perception check now, whichever you prefer.
That was 19.
Okay, that's really good. All right, Lithian. As you have traversed a little farther, a little swifter of foot than the rest of the party, your sense is very sharp. You manage to catch on to cues that a lot of other people don't, following both a unusual scent and an unusual sound, which at first just sounded a bit like clicking, and you weren't really sure what it was. But as you began to sort of follow it, you picked up the scent of something that was unpleasant at first and made your nose crinkle, and then you began to recognize it as rotten eggs, and eventually probably coming to the conclusion of sulfur. And as you follow this scent and the sound of the clicking, you enter into a damaged structure, mostly just a skeleton of the exterior at this point. The roof is completely gone and many of the walls are crumbling. But in the center of this building, the floor is cracked. And you see there is this large bubbling pool of lava. And hanging from a destroyed beam that was once responsible for supporting the roof, there is a chain dangling from it. And at the end of the chain is a wadded up ball that is about 2 feet in diameter. And it's just wrapped heavily in this chain. And it's hanging over it, kind of like dangling very perilously close to the edge of the lava. And the smell seems to be coming from whatever is contained within that unusually wrapped ball.
Can I reach the ball?
The pit of lava is 10 feet around, 10-foot diameter. You could try to go out on your tippy toes, but it might be dangerous.
Is there any way to ascend the area? Is there any upward possibility?
You could go climb the section of the wall that the beam is still attached to. You don't know how much it'll like you introducing your weight to it, though. And given how decrepit everything looks around here. You could also try a classic lasso maneuver.
Oh, Marcel, I need your chains.
Martel come over, assess the situation. I do not think my chains reach far enough, but I might be able to whip it. And Martel's going to attempt to whip it.
Okay. I suppose make an attack roll for me.
Although it's going to be more classic Martel because she's not going to use her flower. She's just going to use a long ribbon. A 24 to hit.
Okay. That will do it. And you manage to wrap it around the chain and get a solid grip on it. However, you do think if you hesitate too long in this position, the ambient heat from the lava will begin to burn up your ribbon.
Right. That makes sense.
If you want to pull it closer, there's going to be an athletics check. It is surprisingly dense.
Yeah, I mean, let's give it a tug.
Can I help with that?
You can. I'll take one roll from either of you, or one with advantage. From Martel.
I mean, let's just do one from each of us.
I was gonna
Martel's
say
fairly strong, but Lithian outdoes her by quite a bit. So.
yeah, 28. I rolled a 19.
Doesn't matter what I rolled.
It matters a little.
All right. It was a 14.
Okay. I mean, none too surprising. Whatever this is very difficult to move. Again, surprisingly dense for the size of the object, but with a little extra oomph from Lithian, you managed to get it just near the edge. So if one of you holds it in place, another one can get closer to the edge and reach for it. Granted, it is still attached and bound in chains. So how you remove it from its current situation is entirely up to you.
Where it is it still over the lava?
Technically, yes, but it is right near the edge of the pit. So you will be standing on solid ground, and you will be reaching out towards it to grab the chains. It's literally within less than like half an arm's length.
Okay, can I go and try and grab it with one hand and hit the chains with the axe in my other hand?
Sure.
I'll stabilize it then.
Yeah. Martel, another athletics check. Lithian, make an attack roll disadvantage.
Oh. All right. A 17.
All right, that's pretty good.
18.
Also pretty good. Roll damage for me, Lithian.
This is a D8 because I'm using one hand.
Correct.
Oh, that wasn't 18. Whatever. It doesn't matter. If it hit, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Sorry. 9 points damage.
Okay. You will grab onto the chains. They're relatively hot. You don't want to hold onto this for too great an extent. Martel leverages with the ribbon digging her heels in, and you swing the axe a little wildly due to this weird balancing act going on between the two of you. But you catch the chains, and it manages to slice through, and you kind of tumble backwards with it, landing on your butt, holding the edge of this weird chain-wrapped ball. When you fall, both of you notice very quickly it begins moving. Something inside is moving.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What do you do?
I mean, Lithian's holding it. Martel just kind of backs away and is like, you can check what it is.
Yeah. I will do some further poking and close-up looking.
All right. So you're gonna start like undoing the chains.
Yeah, that's the smart decision. So yeah.
Okay. You begin unraveling the chains in their somewhat clunky and complex wrapping, and you watch as the cloth folds begin to move more violently as more of the chains are sort of set free, and eventually, you see just the edge of a roll to attack. A spined tail that shoots out of this small cloth sack, and it just narrowly misses you as you kind of just like quickly react and move to the side. You saw it was a thin, like 2-inch diameter that sort of narrows near the end with a tiny little, what looks like a little scorpion stinger close to the end. And it just sort of shot out, and it's kind of now whipping around kind of violently as the creature gets more freedom and begins trying to leverage itself away. You begin to see bits of red skin, small claws, and these unusual leathery wings.
Yep, that's what I was afraid it was.
Do you let it completely free?
Yeah.
Okay. Toss the chains aside. You take a step back, and after a couple of moments of struggling with the weight of this soaked cloth, you watch sort of scramble out rapidly on all fours, and then whip around with its horned head. Honestly, both of you make an Arcana or a Religion check. I don't think either of you are particularly well versed in this species of creature.
They will go with Arcana.
8.
Roll that. Oh wow. A 23.
Oh wow.
Unexpected.
Yeah, Martel. You come from a weird place where people are okay doing weird things with magic. This is definitively an imp.
Ah.
It comes scrambling out very defensively. Its spined tail kind of whipping around now over its shoulder, sort of like someone holding you at gunpoint, kind of aiming between the two of you. Its wings sort of unfurled, and they're kind of moving in this weird sort of circular motion, like it's been trapped in there for a long time, and it's finally getting to stretch its muscles a little. It does seem to have a bit of a slight limp to it, though, like it's been hurt. It's looking between both of you feverishly, and then you quickly see its eyes begin darting to other locations, like it's looking for an exit.
Yeah, Martel just kind of puts out her hands and says, Don't worry, we're not here to hurt you. We aren't the ones who trapped you. We just saw something hanging up there and wanted to see what it was.
Yeah, where's the old man?
Old man, I do not know. I've not seen any old man down here.
Did he do this to you?
Mm-hmm. Trapped me in the bag. Stuck near the lava.
Huh.
Why would he do that?
Probably didn't like me or my masters.
Were you able to speak with this old man?
He was speaking, not to me.
See, well, there does not appear to be any old man around here. You should be safe for the moment. You look like you're hurt. Can we help you with that?
I don't know. Can you?
Well, I just wanted to make sure I don't get that pointy tail thrown at me when I come closer.
If you can help me, I won't hurt you.
And Martel digs into her little side pouch and pulls out a potion. Her last level 1 potion.
Mm-hmm.
I will mark that off. And goes and hands it to the imp. It is a healing potion.
I know what it is. And he puts the whole thing in his mouth. And you just hear crack, crunch, crunch, crack.
Oh, right. So, you know your way around this place. Have you been here a while?
Couple 100 years.
Oh, we are adventurers looking for valuable things. Would you mind giving us a hand?
Have you seen anybody in purple, gold, and black robes by chance? Wearing masks that look like they're laughing?
Have we seen that?
No.
Doesn't sound like something we've seen.
No, not even close. You can make a religion check, though, if you'd like. Maybe understand who he's asking about.
Sure. I mean, why not? The dice have been somewhat fire. It's 13.
Lithian, you are included in this check.
Also 13.
Oh, yay, twinsies.
No, actually, neither of you are familiar with this particular group that he's asking about.
Wins and ignorance.
Definitively, you have not seen anybody that looks like that.
Martel just shakes her head. No, that doesn't ring any bells.
I guess they're all dead. Oh, adventurers, huh? Looking for stuff? I probably know a spot or two if the old man doesn't get us.
Oh, we're at least somewhat capable. If the old man tries to get us, we'll hopefully be able to keep you safe.
Yeah, that's what I thought my previous master would do too. But sure, let's see if you fare any better.
Is your previous master still alive?
I'm gonna doubt it. He left me hanging in that sack for several hundred years. I have a great feeling that since you are the one that freed me, dead.
Ah,
Yeah.
sorry.
You know, hazard of the job, I guess. You know, cultists. What are you gonna do? You don't really get to choose who summons you. You just gotta kind of have to work for them. You know.
Don't, but sure.
Well, anyway, I'm Ebris, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. I am Bartel. This is Lithian.
All right. So you're looking for riches, huh? What do you want? Things you could salvage and sell, or do you want things that are magical?
Yes.
Oh, a bit of both, I would think.
All right. Well, let me give you the grand tour. I'll take you to the first spot. Just follow me.
Thank you. Let me grab our other companions. Martel will go tell Pajira and Hasvard that they found an imp.
Oh.
Don't be weird about it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like you go to find Tajira, the imp is leading you in the direction towards Tajira.
Ah, all right.
And when you get there, Tajira, you spent a little bit more time in this place. You've gone into that backmost room. And after a moment kind of parsing through the remnants and the wreckage and the scrap armor and pieces that you've seen here, you managed to put together a bit of a scene, which is, now that you've been amongst it long enough, there is a central location in the room where there is a single point that there is just a cracked small crevice where something was, and then something exploded. And then there is the remnants of all of these former primordial constructs that were then decimated in the blast. And the remains are just left in shambles all around the room. And not too long after sort of piecing all this together is when you hear Martel, Lithian, and somebody's voice who you're not familiar with approaching.
All right.
So if you just if you come over here through here, there's a bunch of old constructs that have just been decommissioned for a long time. Look, somebody blew the crap out of them at some point. I don't know. Oh, look, a cat person. Hey. So yeah, if you manage to get all this stuff, you can carry it out of here. I'm sure the metal would be worth a lot.
Yeah, Martel's. Oh, Tajira, hello. This is Empress. He's going to help us find some valuable items. And we are going to hopefully, in exchange, help him avoid the old man. Old man? And she looks at the imp. Any name for him? Or is he just an old man?
Just an old man. He wasn't really up for introductions.
Yes, well, there's apparently an old man down here.
He would probably have some interesting things to say.
Well, I'm not sure we can carry all that metal, but it's something to keep in mind.
Chill nod.
Have you seen Hasvard?
Cut away to Hasvard. Hasvard,
Hello.
you ranged a little further. And that's because when you first began investigating, you picked up on something. It was initially just a small scratch on a wall that caught your attention. But your gut told you to keep following where you felt it was going. And it led you to finding a series of boot prints, eventually more marks on walls. And you traveled over a couple of blocks from where you originally exited and where a lot of your party members were sort of already searching through. And when you arrived about 3 blocks over, you arrived onto another avenue to a very dramatic sight. Across the whole of this several 100-foot long avenue that is directly in front of you, there are dozens and dozens of these metal constructs stacked in piles, and they're all frozen in these moments of reaching in a direction towards something. And as you stand in this avenue and you look down the length of it, you can tell it all sort of refines down into a singular point. And all the way down there, just on the edge of your vision, only provided enough light by the dim glow of the lava running through the streets, that there is a figure, a mostly shadowed humanoid figure, sort of slumped against what looks like a building. Dare you to approach?
Stealthily, yes.
When you go ahead.
I was just going to say it's a 25.
Okay. As a good stealth.
My base.
When you begin moving closer, weaving your way through the wreckage of, now at a closer count, at least about 200 different constructs you can kind of make out as you move along. You can see that they've all suffered incredible amounts of damage, all of which looks a little bit different, all varying representations of elemental magic. And when you finally reach the end, the light of the dim orange light of the lava outlines this figure slumped up against what is a large shard of the dark black stone that a lot of the street is made up out of. And it looks like a position where somebody on their last breath just sort of fell against the wall and fell unconscious, where they eventually died. You can see a robed figure clutched against their chest what looks like a very ancient book. Their other arm seems to be missing, and you can just see the edge of the skull sort of slumped onto its shoulder, where they just sort of passed out in their last moments, and this is where they died. On the other end of this just cataclysm of enemies that came charging at.
In brain, because he's not going to say anything out loud, that is one impressive being. He will stealthily move forward a little bit more. Hopefully, the skeleton object does not move in its lovely robe.
Doesn't seem to be moving.
Okay. You said it's missing an arm. Do I know any history about like a one-armed elementalist, like from history or anything like that?
Roll a history check, I suppose. A bit of a broad net. We'll see if you can catch something.
No, I don't, because I think I rolled a 3. No, wait, it's an intelligence anyway, so I get a +3 to it. So it's a 5.
Whoa!
Ah!
No, you got nothing.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, luckily they have a book, which I'm assuming is a spell book.
That's a fair assumption to make when you think there's a spellcaster and they have a book.
Hasvar's going to take a moment, do a quick little may the secrets of the past help us in the future, and then start rifling through this undead's stuff.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
I'm going to use a point of inspiration.
Yeah.
That's much better. So that's a 31, I believe. Yeah, that's a 31.
Real good.
I rolled a 1 initially.
You rifle through the belongings of this individual. You find a few things. One, a very old and partially damaged squirrel tube. Unsure as to its contents. You find a sheathed dagger, which catches your eye, if only because the hilt is this jet black, glistening leather. And it leads you to, at the crossguard of this dagger, it's got this bright orange, red, yellow stone that almost looks like an eye, which, given your most recent friend making you've done, it looks like the eye of a dragon.
Oh. Intriguing.
It is warm to the touch.
I like that, considering all of the cold places we have been so far. Into one of the mini pouches.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the spellbook, which is a heavy, thick tome. It is like, it's one of those, it's like 8 inches tall. It's a big, thick boy.
Pull off my backpack, literally strap it to it, back on my back.
When you look at that, you sort of get a closer look at this individual that passed out here, and you notice something, which is on the bear skeleton, the head, they have tusks. You think this was of an individual of an orcish descent of some kind. So big and beefy is right up their alley. And tucked away around their neck is an amulet. It is gold, and it is in the shape of a closed eye.
Oh, I like that. Cool. Having collected everything and feeling like he's been away from the party for quite a while, and in maybe not the most advantageous of situations, Asvard's going to trek back to the group stealthily with his newly acquired fun items.
Mhm.
And the knowledge of this cool being that took out a whole bunch of automaton things.
Hundreds.
Terrifying. Love it. Also, on the receiving end of being attacked by hundreds of automatons, that would also be terrifying.
Yeah, most certainly it looks like a last stand kind of moment. Cutting back to the other group. All right, now if you follow me this way, you'll see that there's a large group of enemies that have been defeated. Hasvard, you're kind of creeping along one of the buildings when you see this flying light red imp, pinkish in color, flying in front of Martel, Tajira, and Lithian, leading them down the road in the direction you're coming from.
I wait until I'm like right in front of them. I mean, right in front of them. Step out and, what's this?
Yeah, what is this?
Hasvard, this is Ebris, this is Hasvard.
Reaches up a small hand to shake if it takes his hand. Pleasure.
Yeah, he'll do it. His hand is much smaller than yours.
For once.
He is an imp. Abris, yeah, nice to meet you. You're part of the group, I take it.
Yes, I just came from, a terrifying battle of what looks like metal men versus a singular...
mage. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Yeah, I was taking them. Yeah, they said they were looking for valuables. That's where I was taking them.
Yeah. I found a few things that we should look at later.
All right. Well, I don't have any more places to take you here.
Of course, I do think Tajira at least would like to see the site so she can weave a story in the future.
It would seem to be a good one. Do you know the story? It asks them.
Nah, it was here when me and the old master arrived originally. No idea.
Well, maybe one of you will know more about the individual than I did. They were one-armed and orcish descent, so that's all I could figure out.
Oh, let's go look at it, and maybe, Ebris thinks that there's something valuable there, so we should have a look.
Oh, yeah, turns around, and the book is on the back of the bag.
This is this big, thick, chonky tome that he's roped to the back of his backpack.
Martel will tell Hasvard the same thing she told Tajira, that Ebris is going to help us find valuables. In exchange, we're going to try and protect him from some old man that attacked him many years back.
Yeah, real crotchety old bastard.
Why were you here in the first place?
I was just listening to my master's orders.
So what happens to you now that your master's gone?
I don't know. I assumed I was going to go back to the Merc, but I stayed. So, I mean, he could either be alive, but he would have resummoned me, so that's why I think he's dead. I think the way the old man wrapped me into the thing kept me there. I think slowly being burned alive for eternity was the plan.
That's awful.
It was.
But you get a second chance at life now, and not in the Merc.
Meh. This
Oh, did
place
you
has
like
been
the
pretty
Merc?
awful as well. I was dangled over a fire pit for hundreds of years.
I'm so sorry.
So Michael Jackson's in this world.
And kind of just chit-chatting along the way like a good tour guide, Everest will take you back to where Hasvar just ventured from. And you will see the absolute decimation of what looks like a small army of elemental constructs. And at the end of them, at the singular point, is this being, now predominantly stripped of everything but the robes, the tattered robes that are left on his body. Ah, you really didn't leave anything on him, huh?
We're going into a war. We can use everything that we can get.
There. Well, you should definitely take the robes off his back, too.
No, we have at least some common decency.
Ah, there it is.
What? You don't want your giblets hanging out in the cold for
It's a
everyone to see?
It's a skeleton.
Robes look
regardless.
valuable at all?
They look like they've not weathered time well.
All right.
I mean,
More
they've
tough
got
shrubs.
at some point, like they would have been very beautiful. You could see some of the old ornamentation.
Yeah.
I'm not sure from what culture they are, but they were once very pretty. Maybe a collector somewhere might think they're valuable, but just like grabbing in for the sake of usage right now, probably not nuts. Collector maybe somewhere.
Yeah. Martel just shrugs and says, well, he claims decency, but I personally see no value in the robes. They're basically just rags now.
Asvar
Look
does
how pretty they once might have been.
holds his fingers up to his lips and goes like, shh. Like the joking version of it.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yes, we're great people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what my master said too. It gives you like a really exaggerated wink.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, we probably won't leave you dangling over a pit of lava for eternity.
I'd appreciate it. If anything, I'd rather you just kill me if you're going to, separate away on bad terms.
Really good at killing people too, but I don't
I
think
believe
that.
it.
Yeah, I don't think that we're planning on killing you.
You sound very uncertain.
Well, I don't speak for the whole group. We're a bit of a. Well, I mean, we've got a literal rogue.
What?
Yeah. Martel just kind of raises an eyebrow with you. Well, I mean, in honesty, Hasvart's probably the one least likely to kill you.
True. Very true.
If for no other reason than I can't seem to hit anything.
Hey, I killed people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I find it more likely than Hasvart, at least, Tajira.
She just looks at Hasvar.
What? I'm a very nice person. And I whiff a lot.
All right, I'll make sure to fly in front of you then.
Martin.
So, what are you gonna do? What are your plans? Are you trying to get back to the Merc? Are you going to go live a new life?
I don't know. I don't even know where I am.
A terrible, awful lava city.
I knew that much. If I was going to leave this terrible, awful lava city, what's outside?
Immediately frozen wastelands.
It's sounds worse than the Merc. Could you all just kill me, please?
We technically could, but there's also the option of us getting you out and taking you to places that are savannas with beautiful forestry. Or
Where was your master from?
We do have and she looks at the handmaiden. Someone who can send you back to your own plane.
Yes, I could. If it was necessary. It would usually be much easier just to kill the imp to send him back. That's what I'm saying. Got something sharp and pointy? When I die, I melt into a pile of ooze and then go back to the Merc.
Do you want me to kill you? Is that what you're asking?
I mean, if you don't need me anymore, don't get me wrong. It's great fun, being a tour guide in this place. But again, that old man, bit of a bastard. Don't really want to see him again. And I'm not a big fan of the cold. Definitely more of a tropical beaches and coconuts kind of guy.
yeah, that's what I was suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
But that would take a while.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Ooh, well, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it there.
This is awful, but can definitely kill you if you really want me to go. If you want to go back, I can do it.
We're way too eager to be rid of our friend here. He showed us exactly 2 rooms.
Right?
He's the one who keeps talking about killing him.
I'm
I
just
didn't
saying it's
start
the
that.
easiest way to send me back home. That's all I'm saying. And admittedly, I'm only a tiny bit homesick.
If at the end of us exploring, you want to go back home, we will send you home. But for now, I think it would be great if you stuck with us. If nothing else, you can probably reach places the rest of us cannot.
Are you telling me none of you can fly, but you've survived this place?
Yep.
Martel nods.
Wow. You guys are screwed. All right, well, let's keep going. I mean, those were the only valuable things I knew on this floor. I mean, there are a bunch of other, buildings, and I'm sure there are a bunch of buried things you could start digging up around here, but I don't know specifics.
Have you been to other floors?
Hang on, memory's a bit fuzzy. Yeah, I've been to 20 or 30, but I can only remember 5 or 6 really well.
Martel just nods. It has been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we've gotten everything we think is valuable here, perhaps we should move down another floor.
Well, value is the game. I can show it to you.
Martel just smiles. Value is the game.
All right. You ever seen a diamond the size of a dragon's egg?
I would love to.
You're about to.
Yes, actually.
All right. Well, let's go down a floor. Do you know where the lift is?
Oh, yes. It's this way.
All right, perfect.
We'll start heading back to the lift.
Yeah, we definitely can't go up a floor.
Wait, why not? There's some good stuff up there.
It's collapsed.
Now, are you sure it's collapsed, or was it just an illusion?
That's valid. None of us really checked if it was an illusion or not.
That seems like an error to have made. Yeah, that old man, real tricksy.
Oh, is he?
Uh-huh.
I had no idea. Well,
Mhm.
perhaps we'll check if it's an illusion.
Yep.
It
Use a
did
lot
leave
of illusion
some
magic.
Very real rocks inside the elevator. Elevator? Just looks at Hazard.
It elevates you.
Yeah, but you also descend.
At the elevator?
But it doesn't. Maybe.
A descendinator.
Anyway,
A lift. A trolley.
you begin walking back towards the lift, workshopping a name for it. Except when you go back about 2 blocks, the central avenue that you know the lift is on is no longer there.
Yes, it is.
There is a
Take
solid.
that, CJ. Kyle's in control now.
You're the captain now. Now there is a solid wall of stone where the lift used to be.
Can I investigate it to see if it's an illusion?
Sure. You want to make an investigation check?
Yeah, I do. It's a 28.
You reach out, touch it. Solid stone.
Does
All
it
right.
move?
Well, that's annoying. It's not an illusion.
Perhaps it has elevated itself.
You mean like the door?
Not here before.
Yes, it moves, does it not? Is that not what you said?
Or stays in the same spot.
I thought you guys said you could protect me.
Well, aside from him building walls where we don't expect him to, he hasn't attacked you yet, has he?
No, not yet, but this is how it started last time with my old master. Now we're gonna turn around and everything that we walk through isn't gonna be there. And he very sarcastically flies around in a circle. And when you look
Martel turns
behind you,
around.
a large open expanse that looks like a savanna with tall trees.
I
It is suddenly humid and uncomfortable.
I think it's time.
Just looks at Abris. Oh, well, this was
Mhm.
also unexpected.
Yeah, this is how it starts.
Is this one an illusion?
The grass underneath your feet says no, but you're more than welcome to go touch a tree.
No, I'm good.
You
I don't want to walk somewhere and fall into lava.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Tajira, can you?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, don't we have the true sight components for this?
I do. I was going to suggest that.
I also have an option. We only have 2 doses of that, right?
I
3.
believe I was given 3.
3.
Right.
I have a potential other option for, well, I guess it would be me taking the risk.
You can always just throw it in someone's mouth.
I don't try to drug my friends without consent.
Please have it. Will you give your consent?
Well, I think, Tashira, if you are able to cast True Sight, that might be helpful in this situation. Otherwise, I suppose. Martel just kind of raises her voice a little bit and says, hello, old man. We freed this imp, but we mean you no harm. We're just exploring. I would love to talk about it, rather than have us all have a bunch of problems. Martel just kind of like pauses for a moment. Just, okay.
Asvard leads into Martel. You mean problems for us, right?
Martel just shrugs. I think it will be problems for all of us. Not just, us. Him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who will I enchant?
Well, I don't necessarily feel like moving around when I can't see what's real or tell what's real. So would anyone like to have stew while we wait?
I was asking who, not when.
The person that captured the imp, who's turned all of this on us.
No, she's asking who should she enchant with True Sight?
Oh, Lithian. Or Martel. One or the other.
Then we should be ready. We will have 1 hour.
Okay. We'll just go ahead and put it on Lithian, I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
So she'll take out the components and
Mm-hmm.
cast True Seeing.
Upon Lithian.
Yes.
All right. Lithian. You have a sudden rush as this unusual ointment is spread over your eyes. As it absorbs, you begin to see these weird, shadowy images of creatures and wailing entities that you kind of have to slowly learn to tune out as you begin to peer to the somewhat tortured ethereal the scath currently. But when you finally gain control of that and you focus on your surroundings, this large open savanna that is in front of you, 120-foot bubble that you can see in, returns to the original surroundings of the city blocks that you were walking through originally. Make a perception check with this newfound vision of yours.
The wall behind us, is it gone?
Nope. Solid stone.
Ooh. 18.
Okay. About 5 buildings down, just on the cusp of your true sight, you can see what looks like a robed figure with their hood up peeking around the corner. And there's a moment where you sort of both look at each other and you watch him immediately scurry out of sight.
Should I follow him? Like quickly yells to the group.
I was thinking he might be. I do not believe we should.
I don't think we should frighten him. Martel?
He was willing to talk to us before.
What?
Perhaps if we.
Was. I do not recall any moment where he came to approach us and speak to us.
Oops, I misunderstood.
Again, I don't think we want to frighten him and chase him down. I don't know how.
Just go where you think is best, Lithian. None of us are seeing what you can see.
I'm not as good with diplomacy as you, but okay. I'm gonna move in the direction where he was and like kind of towards where he went. Not like sprinting.
Mm-hmm. At a brisk jog.
Yeah.
All right. You can get to the corner of the building.
Lithian.
Okay, I guess we're all following.
Okay, everyone's going now. All right. The whole party now following behind Lithian. You get to the edge of the building, where Lithian, you look down the length of it, and you can see just the hem of a robe fluttering out of sight behind another building. Looks like he ran down about another block or two and then hung a sharp.
Going to keep following.
And it's important to remember, Lithian, you're still walking through these unusual city streets. The rest of you are walking through a savanna with the blades of grass tickling you, the crunching sounds under your feet, the humidity that is just uncomfortable and sweaty, and the smell of just this fresh vegetation all around you. It seems very, very real.
Line formation, no lava today.
I will do my best not to lead you astray.
While still following Lithian and heeding Haspard and trying to step, almost exactly where Lithian steps, Martel just kind of turns to Everest and says,
Did your masters do this too? Did they chase the old man to some kind of trap?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they were a little less well-intended when they found him. They were definitely going to kill him and take his stuff. But, yeah, I mean, this is how it started. So far, step by step.
Well,
Still like my stew idea.
started to follow him. Why didn't you tell me to stop?
You seem pretty determined.
I
Oh.
asked for opinions.
Oh, you asked for their... Sorry, I'm used to not being asked of my opinion. I, was enslaved to another spellcaster before you all. They don't really ask for imps' opinions on ordeals. They think they're smarter than us.
Well, I can assure you that most of us probably aren't smarter than you. We would love some advice.
Don't chase the crazy old man. You'll end up wrapped in cloths and chain and dangled over a lava pit for hundreds of years. I've seen it.
Everest up top goes for the high five.
I'm just imagining you raise your hand and Everest kind of flinches away and you're like, oh no.
No, like this.
Nah,
Yeah,
bro.
As soon as he said yes to, is this what your previous master did? Lithian would have stopped.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're all dead. I haven't seen them for a while. So again, don't end up like them.
it's not our preference. Oh, say it again. Old man, boy, I wish I had a name for you. We're not here to harm you. We would love to talk.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure. Unlock my phone. Get my die. Be disappointed in those rolls. I mean, this is what it's for. I'll spend my 4 points, get a 20, bring it to a total of 35.
Okay. Oh, you. Using my
This is what
systems.
they're for. I think it's a narrative moment where Martel would do her best effort, so let's do it.
You also stand there in that weird open savanna waiting. Lithian, you're scanning around, looking for any weird nooks or crannies this unusual person could be hiding in. But about 20 seconds after Martel's beckoning, you see, to the right, the exact opposite side you saw him turn down the right side of the road, you see this hooded individual stick their head out of one of the intersections between the buildings. And Lithian, you see a glint of gold underneath the hood. Like just something reflective. And then a voice rings out. And who is the one speaking to me that's stolen someone else's luck?
Oh,
Who?
I'm Martel.
The rest of you, all with borrowed luck. Who do you work for? I could sense it on you. You're all luck thieves.
We were given this, thank you.
Yeah, let me guess, by the god of bad luck? Did you sell your soul for it?
No.
Well, they barely even talk to him. My soul,
Bartel kind of gives that like hand.
not fully sold, but you know, I'm a little tighter with the god of bad luck than everybody else.
Yeah, I bet you think you are, huh?
But I mean, everybody in this group. Look, we, again, don't intend any harm.
That's what the last one said.
Right, yes, well. Could we at least get your name? I do feel foolish just calling you old man.
Ah, I like old man. It's a good description of what I am. And names have power. It'd be stupid to give you mine.
Very well. Old man? Why are you down here? What are you doing?
Trapped here. Dealing with all the idiots that wander into the city trying to take stuff. Trying to take my stuff. Trying to take me. Trying to take my luck. Yeah, I see all of you eyeing my luck from over there. Especially you, tiger lady. No, the other tiger lady.
Me?
No, the other tiger lady.
He clearly sees things that most of us don't. I think he's talking to you, Lithium.
Oh, I'm aware.
Just, I don't know, stop greedily eyeing his luck, I guess.
Okay, I'll stop existing.
That would be preferred.
Lithian gives a very rude gesture his way.
I can make that happen if you want.
No, we would rather live. That's why we're talking, not fighting, not chasing.
Yet.
Well, we would only defend ourselves if you chose to attack us. Like I said, we would rather talk. Look, we're looking for something specific. And yes, the God of Luck is the one who sent, or of bad luck, is the one who sent us on this.
Well, it certainly wasn't the one of good luck.
No. No, it wasn't. Nobody has seen her in a long time.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Rumor has it that she ran off with some guy. Nobody's quite sure.
Uh-huh.
But that's the strongest rumor right now.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Goddess of good luck. Totally off just having a fling. Uh-huh. Yeah, that checks out. Mm-hmm.
You know more about it.
Oh, obviously. I know everything. Why do you think I don't trust anybody? I don't trust any of you. All your stolen luck.
Good, I wouldn't trust us either.
Yeah, I don't.
Through a mouthful of cracker.
Contemplating-
I don't think I'm stealing luck.
It's very rude to speak with your mouth full.
Thumbs up and goes back to eating.
Goblins, no manners ever, I swear.
Humans. Actually, I don't even know if you're human. Never
Yeah,
mind.
you don't
Can't
know
say
what I
that.
am. If you had better eyesight, you could tell.
I can't because you're not in the savannah.
I know.
I see.
Make another perception check.
Well,
Natural
Lithian
20.
is seeing. Ooh, nice.
27.
Oh, okay. Let's download you with some information real fast.
Okay.
So, having had this long, extended moment of this dude bad-mouthing you guys from across the way, you've managed to gather quite a bit of information on him. Not most importantly, but most obvious, his clothing, which is mostly shrouded in this this sea green, this blue green robe, trimmed in this decorative gold. There seem to be a lot of these geometric patterns that are sort of around the edges. They're kind of frayed in places, and it's clearly seen some wear and tear. However, you get the best glance of his face when he berates Hasvart for chewing with his mouth full. Underneath the hood, you see what it looks to be a relatively old man. You can see the wrinkles of the skin around his eyes and his mouth, and his cheeks are kind of hanging a little bit lower. Just everything's kind of gravity is kind of pulled a little bit on everything. And he's got this long straw, almost like straw-colored hair. It's very, very light. This huge, long beard and the long, sort of matted, ratty hair that's falling down around on either side. But the feature that you notice the most, and you caught a tiny glimpse of earlier, you are now confirming for yourself, is the fact that this individual has gold eyes. And eyes not just yellowish in nature like you've seen amongst other Tafakari or certain other elves or even Tabaxi, like polished gold. They are unusually beautiful and something like you've really never seen before.
Are they like Tyrix?
Staggeringly, yes.
Well, you certainly look like that guy you don't like very much.
Who are you talking about?
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
No, I don't think I do. Come on, be plain. Speak with your words.
Bad luck. Tyrix.
Don't use that name here. You don't know who that name belongs to. Told you names have power. You don't know the name.
You asked. You told me to speak plainly.
Compare me to that charlatan.
I'll just kind of gets a little closer to Lithian. Says,
Is he a squirrel?
Oh, what a question.
Lizzie does absolutely laugh out loud at that.
What's so
no.
funny?
As much as I would love to liken Tyrek to a squirrel, no. Our friend here just shares his eyes.
Oh, squirrels always know more than you want them to.
That's true.
You must get the story of this squirrel.
Which one?
All of them. I am very curious.
I'll go talk to some squirrels then. Get out of here. Hey, look, a squirrel over there right now. And you see a squirrel darting away through the tall grass. Better go catch it.
Just shuts up.
You said you were trapped here.
Yeah.
Can we help you with that? We would love to free you.
I doubt it.
Well, you said you know everything. You should be able to hear that I'm honest when I say I would love for you to be free of this place.
Except how to be free of this place. One thing I don't know.
Well, like I said, would love to help. You tell us what you do know, we might be able to help.
Yeah? And what would you like to know that you think might be helpful?
Have you
Oh.
tried?
I would like an exchange.
Of
We want to
course.
free you, and we're
Mhm.
looking for something specific.
Are you now?
Card.
Hmm.
Do you know of the card?
I know of several cards.
Well, that would be even more helpful. We
Only one of which is here.
are trying to resurrect.
what's his name?
Kraylor.
Kraylor, thank you.
Do we want to do this in front of an imp right now?
Hey, what do you mean?
I'm really sorry. You come from the Merc. We've had bad.
all right, I see. All right, just because I'm from the Merc, you think I'm a bad guy. You're gonna talk about
No.
resurrecting the dragon. I can't. You know what? Fine. I won't be here. And he just turns and begins flapping away.
I
Stupid.
can't follow you because I might fall into lava. But please don't go,
Stupid
Everest.
racist goblin. Hey,
It's. It was literally just the fact that if you go back and you get tortured and you have to tell them, like, it's a thing. I don't want you to have to get tortured because you have information, but that, anyways.
he just never stopped. He just kept flapping away.
Looks at Haspard and says,
Anyone that he might be forced to tell already knows.
Yeah, it's valid.
You gonna treat me like that,
Trying
imp?
to resurrect Kraylor.
Huh.
We found his soul in a different dimension.
Ah, is that where they put it? Clever.
I thought it was just one entity that put him there, but yes.
Right. One entity. Right. You're right. Mm-hmm. So you want the card and you'll set me free.
That's my plan.
All right, set me free first and then you'll get the card.
Okay.
In that case, what's keeping you here?
No idea.
What happens when you try to leave?
I can't.
So, like a invisible force stopping you from walking out, you walk through a door and you're actually just entering back through the same door?
That
What are we
one.
talking about? Ah,
Mm-hmm.
is there a radius or is it just these certain floors?
That's the whole damn city. I just been to all the other floors and not that interesting anymore. And after all the various groups that have come in here, I've just kind of made these several floors my own.
I've been here.
Is there any place within the city that you can't reach?
Now that is a good question. Never been to the heart. Can't get there. Big angry dragon. Doesn't like me visiting. Says he's got a thing for my people. Would sooner eat me than let me stay around and snoop.
That sounds like a starting point for us.
I bet.
If you would let us see the real world again, we'll start heading for the center of the city.
All right, just no walking towards me. I'll send you someplace worse next time.
Oh, of course, we will walk away from you.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you're not in the direction of the center of the city right now.
Nope.
We won't come towards you, but could you at least point us in that direction? We really are new here.
I can tell. Taking tours from an imp. Should really stick him back in his prison.
Why did you put him there in the first place?
Because he's rude.
Ooh,
Oh, well, fair enough.
you're both rude.
I have an excuse. I'm old.
He has an excuse. He's a slave.
Not anymore, he's not.
He has another excuse. He's been stuck in a bag over lava for years.
If he stopped being rude, I would have let him out.
Oh, you came to visit him?
All the time. Who else do you think I talked to stuck here for as long as I have been? Not very many creatures live long enough to keep me entertained.
Well, I can't say that I would be nice if somebody was sitting outside of a bag that they kept me in.
All he had to do was not threaten my life, and I was going to let him out.
Not here to judge you or your pastimes. You've
Seems a
obviously
little late
been
for
here
that.
a long time. Well, you're right. I'm not here to do that.
Mm.
we're just going to head towards the center of the city.
Advised.
We'll find out what we can.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what color the dragon is?
No idea. It's the disembodied voice inside a skull.
Great. That's never a good sign. Okay.
Never.
Well, we will head that way once we can see. And,
Yeah.
and take Ebris with us, unless I guess you want to talk to him some more, but
Nope. I'm gonna
I'd
kill him if
prefer
I see him
he's-
again.
okay. Then Ebris should probably come with us.
You don't know where he is.
Oh,
Yeah, he
Well-
flew off.
if he doesn't come back to us, then I guess feel free to kill him.
Martel
I
raises her
will.
voice a bit.
Ebris, old man is just gonna kill you if he sees you, but you can accompany us if you choose. Promise to get Hasvard to stop being racist.
It wasn't. It was.
You begin to watch as the illusory savanna begins to recede. It sort of melts away like a watercolor painting all around you, until you are back in the dimly lit room of this city floor. And for those of you with over 100 feet of dark vision, you would be able to see this robed man kind of peeking out from behind one of the buildings. Long, straw-colored beard hanging down to about almost the street.
I do not have that kind of dark vision.
Oh. You could just point in the direction of the center of the city, and we'll be on our way. Remember, when you're free, please don't just run off. We really do need that card.
I bet you do.
Would normally shake your hand on a deal, but I don't see that forthcoming.
A large hand materializes itself in front of you.
Okay,
It's about the size
we
of a
will
horse.
free you, and you will help us with our cards.
She grabs the hand.
It puts out its index finger.
All right. Could have been a worse finger. Hell grabs the index finger and shakes it.
There. Done deal. Oh, but then, yes, after the cards, feel free to leave.
Oh, I will. Gonna get my luck back.
Wonderful. I do hope none of your luck is what I've been given, or whatever.
I don't
But he
know.
does give me lots of luck, so it
Did you
could
ask
be
where-
some of yours.
Yeah, did you ask where it comes from? Do you know whose luck you're currently walking around with?
No,
Yeah. Very few
But-
people ask.
in the spirit of honesty, I do not particularly care.
Yeah, you sound like the type that would work with them. All right. Well, off you go. And you watch as the gigantic hand points its index finger in a direction for you to walk.
Martel will start heading that way, although she's going to move cautiously, because, you know, it's a lava place and she doesn't fully trust this old man.
Right. I would like the party to make a group investigation check.
I can help with those.
Investigation.
Yeah, and Lithian, you can have an advantage because you've got true sight, right?
30.
6.
Where are you, Dice? 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 12.
Lithian.
Oh, wow.
Hang on for a second. I actually thought, I was like, you know what, I could just hand wave this, but no, hang on. I actually probably.
My investigation sucks.
Advantage
Alright.
and everything.
Yeah.
I
You
rolled a 6 and a 7.
guys have an average of a 14.
Oh, God.
Right.
Real
30.
strong. Real strong.
For bringing up the average there.
You guys begin making your way back, and the terrain starts looking familiar. And you turn down another one of the wide avenues, and you see on the far length of it there, the door to the lift. When you cut around one of the corners, though, Lithian, it is only because you hear Hazard kind of go, Something feels a little bit too warm, and you suddenly rocket out of hand as your true sight turns the corner, and you see the small lava pit that is on the walkway in front of where Hasvard was about to step. You catch him by the collar and pull him back.
What? What happened?
There's some lava in front of you. She almost walked
Does it
into you.
look like floor to me?
Yes.
Good to know. Is there a way around it, Lithium?
Is there a way around it, CJ?
Yeah, it's a small section. It's like literally, if you cut like really wide on the turn, you can avoid it. It's only for those that make the sharp turn around the corner.
Is it a goblin-sized hole?
We'll stand and guide everyone around where the lava is.
But once you're around that, you reach the end of the boulevard. You double check to see that the door there is real, and with a little bit of the handmaiden's instructed knowledge, manages to operate and open the doors to the lift.
So, do you think that your friend could help with this disembodied dragon?
Would depend on the color, unfortunately. Probably best for us to look first.
Well, if it's a disembodied voice, how will we even be able to tell?
Well, just because it sounds disembodied doesn't necessarily mean that it is.
He said it was a dragon's skull.
It said it was a skull.
Valid.
I mean, if it's a ghost dragon, no, I don't think she could help us anyways.
Well, let's hope that's not the case.
Well,
I don't
let's
see.
go down a floor or two. Let's try and find the center of this city.
Very well. What floor should we go to?
The shrugs.
For the record,
No idea.
now that the handmaiden's been instructed on how to use the lift, I will just give you all the blanketing knowledge of the fact that there are 150 floors.
Great.
You guys are about halfway down right now, actually.
So I think we have three options. One, we can go to the middle floor and check there. Two, we can go talk to your friends and see if they know where the center is. Three, we just try and get lucky.
They aren't all my friends, but I suppose we could ask. Although I'm not going to lie to you, I'm always open to get lucky.
Again, let's go to the middle floor first then. See if we get lucky there. Probably not, but there's a possibility.
So go up 3 floors. Gotcha.
If it's the center of the city, the middle floor might be the best option.
My thoughts are either that or it's on the first floor, but I highly doubt that. I don't know why though.
Right. Well, is it back to Morgana, or is it to the what would be considered closest to the centermost?
I believe we currently have Ben's vote for the middle floor. I'm indisposed, and everyone else hasn't said yet.
I'm cool with the middle floor since we're like right there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
We're
then.
going to the middle floor.
Going to the middle floor. But before we go there, a commercial from our sponsors, which we don't have. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take about a 10-minute break. So come back. Around like 25 past. That seems like a good round number.
And when we come back, I'll have a hot fudge sundae.
Ooh, bring me one.
Okay, you're so far. It would be melted by the time I got to you.
Eat both. I want to live vicariously through you.
Don't make me unhealthier than I already am.
Yeah, don't talk to me about it. Anyway, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
You just read me stuff.
What are the odds that this old man is Tyrik's counterpart?
Sister?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Maybe like 60-40? 40% chance he is, 60% chance he is not.
Obviously related to her in some way, though.
Possibly.
The bright, solid gold.
Yeah, the gold eyes is suspicious. But I mean, Eric does famously have a good relationship with his sister.
Hmm.
Like I said, 60-40. Possible all that's a lie.
Stop that. Stop that.
I also don't know how
You
would restrain a god like that. Or why she would choose to be an old man.
I don't know. People have weird motivations for things.
That's fair.
Never say never.
I mean, yeah, never say never. If I was a god and could look like anything I wanted, it probably would not be an old, crazy old man.
I don't know. I can see the time and the place for it. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you're not trying to be recognized as Eric's sister. Although, again, why wouldn't she just change her eyes? I don't know. Questions all over the place.
Well, I guess
I don't think it's her, but there is something strange about him having nearly identical eyes to Tyrek.
that is significant, yes, because I would have seen it through it if it were an illusion.
Yeah. Well, unless it was like a god illusion. Again, no idea. It is strange. I agree with you. Is it Tyrek's sister? I don't think so, but there's a chance.
Do we think it's possibly someone that had their luck stolen from them by Tyrek when he was becoming a god?
I mean, he definitely has said that his luck was stolen, and he hates Tyrek.
Yeah.
So, but, I don't know that. Again, like, he didn't really, or from what little lore I have on him, he didn't like steal everybody's luck in order to become the god of bad luck. It was kind of, yeah, god process is a little less organic than that. Don't just take everybody's luck and you're like, there we go. I'm the god of luck now. Bad luck now.
You know what? I think I'm the
Who knows? Maybe.
No, I was just gonna be like, I think I'm the best contender to try and take the next spot when it comes up. Not a halfling.
I mean, I think you, Kyle, yes. Hasvard, nah.
No.
Well, I mean, Hasbard does have bad luck.
Yeah, but not through his entire life, which is, I think, what Ben is getting at.
And again, the god of bad luck controls bad luck. He doesn't just constantly have bad luck.
You don't know how it started?
I have a feeling it started by you insulting Tyr.
Oh no, I was talking about how Tyr became the god, but you probably actually do know.
I know some. Like I said, I've gotten a bit of lore from CJ, but I'm not going to share it all because Martel isn't going to share it all
Valid. Don't give away your god secrets.
until or unless something happens that she needs to. Martel's going to, like she always does, keep secrets.
I know, I understand what we're trying to do here. I really want to fight this.
You want to fight the old man?
Yeah.
I really feel like we would lose.
I mean, if it comes down to it, we'll fight him, because Martel's serious about doing that favor.
Yeah.
Problem is, only one of us will ever be able to see him at a time. It'd be a hard fight to coordinate.
Just strap me to her back. Just strap me to Lithian's back.
Whatever I'm pointed at, you can.
Yep.
Well, see, I have this drug. That would help. It's a downside, but it would help. And I really want to use it. So excited that I rolled for these because there's some fun stuff in here. Some very good things. I have a new torture method for information.
Sunday.
Yeah. I just am at a loss with all of this, to be honest.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, like, I don't know what to expect going towards the center of the city. I wasn't expecting to meet the old man so soon. Wasn't expecting him to be that crazy. I just don't know what to do with a lot of it.
I'm expecting to befriend an imp.
I wasn't expecting to befriend an imp.
My bad.
Don't worry about it. It was wise to try and be cautious, but
Given who we knows that we're trying to resurrect a dragon, I assume that everybody knows.
It's like there is, as bad as the gods in the murk are, and the other entities in the murk, none of them are as threatening and terrifying as Abanus also going after the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And the other truth is, they can't really do anything about it, these other gods. I mean, they can interfere with us, but what else is new? And finally, death. I mean, he's an imp. At the end of the day, Martel will tie him in a sack and hang him over lava again if that's what needs to be done. Keep him from sharing our secrets.
Asgard did not let that happen. Stop the eternal torture of people.
Really? Sacrifice all of us to save an imp from some torture?
No. I don't know. It depends on how often you do it in front of me.
I think that Martel hasn't tortured anyone in front of you.
Exactly. So you're good so
Nor
far.
has she sacrificed anybody in front of you. In front of Lithian, yes. Lithian saw Martel sacrifice somebody.
Yeah, that somebody made a choice too.
Yep.
Mhm.
But Hasvard hasn't seen that.
Not yet. I'll look forward to the
yet.
day. But you want to say that, right? It's happened a few times. Just kidding.
I can't promise it won't ever happen again. Martel is not maliciously looking for people to sacrifice at any given moment.
Oh, I know. Like, honestly, this goes back to the first card we tried to find, and it turned out to be a lovely young woman who just wanted to help everyone. And we were like, yeah, so when we collect all the cards, we don't know what happens if we take the card from you, but you might die. Still do it? Question mark?
Well, luckily we didn't have to make that choice. But with this guy, I'm happy to kill him.
Yeah, he's not a sweet young girl. He's a cantankerous old man.
I said, look at the other drugs that I have. These three are new to me.
I've returned.
Hooray.
We are missing Tim.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes, we are.
Did he announce his leaving?
No.
No.
Okay. I do not have a message.
Yeah. It is weird that he just completely dipped out.
Well, I guess we're now in the Tajira waiting room.
Yeah. I hope everything's okay.
Yeah.
He did seem a little low energy.
Yeah. But I mean, if it was just that, I think he would have said something.
Fair.
Just wait for a bit, I guess. Yeah. We were just talking about how none of us is really sure how to proceed.
That's fair.
It's just been a very unexpected bunch of interactions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am certain that I want to kill this man, but
Yes, we do know that.
Yeah, you tend to have
Or
that sort
wants
of
the man
reaction.
dead. We were like, oh yeah, I don't know. And Kara was like, yeah, no, I want to kill him. I was like, oh.
More than welcome to try.
I don't like that. That bodes ill for us.
What do you mean? If he's like the last one, the car could just be inside of him, in which case you might just need to cut it out.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fine plan to me.
and this one I won't feel any guilt about. So
Exactly.
that's all I'm saying.
Lithian values life on a similar sliding scale to Martel. Good to note.
I mean, she's seen her family.
There was several speculations on the old man's origins.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
As you know, polished gold eyes is a pretty distinct feature.
Mm-hmm.
What's Tyrik's sister's name?
Alzara.
Alzara.
Yeah, there was some speculation it might be Alzara, although that doesn't make much sense to me.
Makes just enough sense that I'm running with it. Oh man, I don't know if CJ ever mentioned when I was originally starting thinking about a character for this game, I almost went with a College of Luck bard.
Oh yeah.
So I would have
Oh.
had my in the group through you, basically.
I had something
Yeah.
spicy prepared for that character.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. But
I like
I had a really good story for it.
Well,
But,
just kill Lithian.
I'm trying, okay? Like, I'm trying real hard.
You shouldn't have let me buy a ring of invulnerability.
Yeah. Well, how are they gonna go? But stop it! Don't be rich. Cut it out. That doesn't really work.
I get to be rich for 4 hours every week. Let me have it.
Basically.
That's fair. I should try that next time I make a character.
I've
All my
never,
characters are penniless.
Yeah, I've
Right?
had, like average wealth like characters before, but never like
Filthy
lavishly
rich.
rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it. It's so much fun.
Well, like I said, it works, especially coming into a high-level campaign where money
Yeah.
matters a little less. So that way you can just kind of throw around thousands of gold real casually.
Yeah, and shoes.
Yeah, on shoes. That's the thing that's happened.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. I do not know where Mr. Timmons is off to. But I have given him his time. We are going to onward and forward. And if he reappears, great. And if he doesn't, perhaps we'll give him a phone call.
Okie dokie.
So, there you are. In the lift, disseminator, elevator, deciding on where you're going. So, the 75th floor, was that the final plan? Is that the final say?
That the middle floor. So is that the middle floor?
150
Yeah.
floors.
Yeah.
Okay. The handmaiden works the dials and is preparing to pull the lever down when you hear a, "Hey, let me in. Don't leave me here with that madman." You see the handmaiden crank the lever back up and the door is open.
Come to your senses, I see.
Better with a racist than a killer.
All right.
If
I'll
it's any
take it.
consolation, Hasvar just sticks his foot in his mouth a lot. He's not really racist. He just does that sometimes.
I
It's not.
personally don't think I do, but that's fine.
So you think
Well-
you're a racist?
No.
I see. He just did it. I got it. All right, we're good to go.
I'll just kind of stares at Hazard. It's like,
You don't think that you put your foot in your mouth?
The door is closed. You get to enjoy the uncomfortable 30 seconds of silence as Martel stares at Hazard. in disbelief.
Think of it as endearing. Thank you very much, but whatever.
So you do. And you arrive on the 75th floor. When the doors open, you are greeted by an incredibly short stretch of hallway, 5 feet, and then another door. And you don't need to inspect it to know that it looks like it is incredibly heavily locked. Like a big, thick, multi-tiered door with these several cross beams and bars that look like they interlock, all according to this big turning wheel in the center of the door that has what looks like an intricate moving puzzle piece, like those sliding puzzles. And there are runes that sort of pulse with the same sort of glow that the lava does in the rest of the city.
Hasbard, you got this, right?
Like, maybe we can. I think I might need help pushing them, but maybe.
Oh, definitely help. Just don't know how much help I'll be, aside from the muscle.
Well, let's examine the positioning of all these different runes and whatnot.
Make an investigation or an arcana check.
Oh, well, I know which one I'm doing for those. You know what? Just because I feel like it, I'm using my last point of inspiration. That was actually worse, and that's okay. So it's just a 23.
All right. Before I provide you any information, where is everybody? Like, this is a short hallway. It's about 5 feet long, with this big door in front of you, and then at the other end is the door on one end and the open lift on the other. Where is everybody positioned?
Martel's probably standing back towards the lift doors, preferably with the handmaiden and Abras close by, because Martel's going to ask them to also take a look at this door.
Did you ever be right before that? After that, I mean?
Okay. So most of you guys are kind of just like right at the lift, with Lithian and Hasvard at the door. Okay. Hasvard, you go over the door. By and large, you can see and understand a lot of the mechanical nature of the door. The runes are etched into these crossbars that you can tell when the door is turned, this large wheel on the door is turned, they will shift and either push in or push out, releasing bars that will be stuck into the reinforced door frame in multiple positions. You're not entirely sure what the purpose of the runes are, but they most certainly have something to do with the security of the door. But you don't understand what they do, just that they are part of the door's functioning somehow. Everything else about it, the physical aspects of it, how it works, you more or less understand without being able to actually see through the door.
Okay. So I'm guessing it's a type of combination lock. I'm just not sure.
Mm-hmm. More or less.
Can you figure out the combination?
If we're willing to risk me getting it wrong once and seeing what happens. Because, there's never a guarantee of breaking the lock right the first time. If it's trapped, oh boy.
Well, instead of just stupidly throwing you over a chasm, why don't we take a moment to look at the runes with some of the more magically inclined?
Winks at
Handmaiden, can you see anything that we're missing? Ebris, do you know anything about this door?
It's draconic. That's about all I got.
Well,
But that bodes well considering the handmaiden speaks Draconic.
Yes, give me a moment. She'll walk up and reach a hand out, and she will utter a few words in the melodic voice that she sings with. and you will watch a invisible ripple, kind of like watching heat waves, reach out from her and caress the edges of the door. And she stares there with her eyes aglow for a few minutes, kind of looking over everything. And then she'll turn, put her hands back in her robe, and kind of step back towards the entryway before speaking. And then steps onto the lift. The door is magically enchanted. The runes are a countermeasure for those trying to break into the chamber. To put it simply, anyone that fails to accurately solve the puzzle or find a way to circumvent activating the magic, this room will be sealed, including these doors here, and she will gesture to the lift doors, and the room will then be filled with scalding air from the lava pits in the city.
That does not sound ideal.
What a nice sauna.
Perhaps not
Martel
all of us
remembers
need to
wistfully as she went to a sauna for the first time at Lithian's house.
Perhaps we do not all need to be in this room.
Ah, yes, sacrifice me. I get it.
No. Do you think that this is something that is made by the dragon cultist, by Morgana? Because we could just ask.
This looks like it was built with the door, doesn't it?
This door looks ancient.
Yeah,
its
including the lock.
craftsmanship is of a type you've never seen before in your life.
Yeah. I really don't think that this is part of their stuff. As you can see, the combination is actually inbuilt into the door, so
It's like a you know those sliding image puzzles, where you always have one empty square, but you can slide them all else to make a solid image. For the record, that's what this was going to be until my computer was out of commission all week. I apologize.
Oh no!
It's just been
That'd
reduced.
be so
It's
fun.
just been reduced to checks. I apologize. I just
That's
literally
okay.
did not have a working computer to do it.
don't worry, we're really good at breaking open doors.
But I don't worry. I'll have some more fun visual puzzles down the line.
Right.
But it might be smart to have everyone that isn't assisting in the act of putting this lovely puzzle together in the elevator, just in case.
Well, who is putting the puzzle together?
Well, I'm going to assume I'm one of the two. I would like someone to assist me, if possible. But if not, I can do it.
I can help.
Are you good with these kinds of puzzles?
I think someone else has a better investigation check.
Well, we don't know what kind of checks it's going to be.
You
Yeah,
don't know what kind of
exactly.
check it is. It is not a
but-
standard picking door check. That's what I'm going to tell you now.
I might not even be the best choice for this, considering it's magical in nature at the same time.
Well, I was about to suggest, although I don't know how much is metagaming and how much isn't. Like, it might be worthwhile to find a pair of people who complement each other better. Like, where, some has strength, the other has strength in a different place. Like, if we have two high intelligence, low wisdom people at the door and there's some wisdom checks, then we're in trouble. But if we have people who kind of complement each other, that would probably be wiser. So I don't know,
Are you
CJ.
saying you and the handmaiden then? Because the handmaiden's basically the only person that has high wisdom.
I wish
Oh.
that weren't true, but that's mostly true.
Yeah, I know.
out of your group of people, she does have the highest wisdom, yes.
Yep.
Again, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much would be metagaming, but
I mean, it's a good observation. You're more than welcome to pick a complimentary pair based off of that.
Okay.
Like I said, at the very least, there's going to be a puzzle-based check involved, so it's going to involve intelligence.
Right.
And I would tell you if someone had like a particular gaming proficiency, it might help. Actually, any gaming proficiency, even.
I
think
do
dice
have a
bets.
gaming proficiency for lords and ladies.
Yeah, could help.
And Martel is not dumb.
Nope.
So Martel could go with the handmaiden and do it, or try it. But I don't know if other people feel like they're more qualified for one or the other of those. I mean, if it's a charisma check, I'm pretty confident in my ability to do that, but I doubt it.
Yay. Again, I've done my bit. I can investigate, and if it was a regular door, I could help pick it, but you can also pick. So, and I've seen you pick, so I know you can.
Yes. Martel's not as good at it as you, but she can do it.
I mean, if you want to try to
She's just not even
circumvent,
close to as good at it as you.
let's say, if you want to try to circumvent the mechanisms on the door, you could try to force a thieves' tools check.
Nah.
No, not yet. Not until they can't do it and die. I mean, ooh.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's also something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
That a failure is almost
Painful.
certainly death.
Gonna be bad.
Unless the handmaiden sets up
very,
her
very
door
painful.
beforehand. Unless the handmaiden sets up her door beforehand.
I mean, again, we're kind of workshopping it, but we,
No, like I'm saying
how's
that.
Lithian's intelligence?
Intelligence bad. If you need strength or a constitution, I'm your girl.
All right. Well, I thought I'd check because you're the only one of us that can be invincible.
I mean, it's not a negative, but it's not great.
All right.
So I have a question for the handmaiden. Her doorway, is it invulnerable or can it be destroyed by heat?
Mundane heat, it would survive.
If it's magical heat,
Perhaps could harm it.
okay.
It is very resistant to damage.
So here's an idea, just as a precaution, and I know it could technically be a waste, but I don't want either of you to disappear. If you set the door up beforehand and then did it, and for whatever reason, I don't think it's going to happen, but if something goes wrong, you can step through the doorway, be safe, and then come back after it's done.
Does anybody have other ways to potentially stop the heat from killing us?
It's also valid.
Yes.
Oh.
The handmaiden just says very flatly.
I'll be quiet now.
I prepared for the reality of dealing with fire-based threats based off of the city.
Well, no, it was a good idea, Hasbard. I just was open to other suggestions in case there are lower level spells that could help.
Yep.
Well, handmaiden, I suppose it's up to us.
Very well. And then I suggest all of you get back onto the lift in case this goes poorly.
Yeah, back to the lift. Lithian, can I get into your bag of holding for a second?
If you want to die,
If I can have some of my stuff from the bag of holding?
oh, I thought you meant you literally wanted to get in the bag.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you can have stuff from it. Go ahead.
Thank you. I finished my cheese from earlier. I needed more. Sits down in a corner.
At some point, you're going to run out of cheese.
I'm stress eating. Also, I am marking down rations slowly over time, so don't worry.
So the handmaiden, Martel, will step out into the small hallway. The handmaiden will turn around, and you'll watch a shimmering hand produce itself inside the lift, and it will pull the lever down and close the door. Martel, you, the
Well,
handmaiden, are in here.
Be honest with me. The other alternatives only protect one of us. Because I can protect you if you can protect me.
No, my alternative protects both of us.
Okay, very well. Let's tackle this puzzle, shall we?
Let's. I would prefer not to die today.
Oh, I was hoping someone else was more capable at this sort of stuff than me, but this is what I get for traveling with people of average intelligence.
The handmaiden smiles at you. And she just kind of
Martella
walks.
smiles
She,
back.
she walks up to the door. All right. The first check is going to be an insight check.
Oh, I got to imagine the handmaiden should do that.
Okay.
Oh boy. I mean, Martel loves doing insight checks, but they don't go well.
Okay. Well, don't worry. She destroyed it.
Did he?
I rolled a natural 18.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hooray, handmaiden.
So that's, hang on, math. 26. You basically watch as she walks up, looks at this unusual sliding tile mechanism with these glowing draconic runes on it. And she begins sort of spending a lot of time sort of like whispering to herself as she kind of translates what they all say in the intention. And then she finishes. And she leans back up and she looks at you. Well, it's complicated. It's a poem, but also a game. When one of the runes moves, the rune will go dark. The objective is to move all the pieces to complete the poem and have all of the runes alight. If you finish it without all the runes alight, it will trigger the defensive magic I mentioned earlier. I can instruct you on the proper order, but I think it's going to require a little bit of a little clever thinking and a tad bit of luck to get this right.
Let's hope today I have both in abundance.
First thing she's going to do is, as you both sort of get closer to the door, she begins humming a tune, kind of lightly under her breath. She's going to inspire you.
Hooray.
You have a D10 and Bardic Inspiration.
Goody. That's not a Martel D10. Where are you, Martel D10? There you are.
And if you want to make whatever gaming proficiency you have, make a check for that. It is intelligent. It is intelligence based.
Intelligence based. Because I have a proficiency, I can add that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry. Last luck point spent for the day. Intelligence is. Why am I so bad at math right now? I'm all nervous. All right.
Don't die.
Eight. Then proficiency. Sorry. 23.
Okay. Is that with the inspiration die?
No, oh, inspiration.
You don't have to roll it.
No, I definitely want to hopefully nail this check. That inspiration helped a lot. 20 What was it before? 20?
23.
29. 3 plus 6.
That's 29. That's 29. That tracks.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. 29.
You and the handmaiden spend the better part of about 30 minutes hunkered over this puzzle. And there is a logic that starts forming in your head, Martell. And as the handmaiden sings, your thoughts stay clear. And you begin working through it. And you begin to see the pattern and the understanding of the spaces you need to move runes into temporarily in order to move the proper ones into their right spots so the way they can stay illuminated by the time you're finished with them. It is near the end where you begin to move one, and the handmaiden reaches out and grabs your wrist and stops you, and you immediately realize your error. And you both kind of have a moment where you look at each other and then nod and then begin proceeding again in the correct order. And when you hit the last rune, all of them illuminated, you begin to watch a very complex series of interlocking metal bars and arms twist and turn as the center wheel on the door begins to spin by itself. And then you hear a subtle hissing sound as it is parted an inch open. Good job, princess.
Thank you for your help. If I could breathe a sigh of relief, I would, but I won't subject you to my bad imitation.
Appreciated. And
Shall I get... Oh, yes?
yes, the others. I was
The
merely
others.
going to comment, had we put any of them else in this room, I suspect we would have had 2 fewer party members.
Nods.
Yes. Yes, that was not easy. Well, before I, bring them all back, what did you think of that old man? Lithium seemed to suggest that he had eyes like Tyrek.
There is something to him that I don't understand yet. But he unnerves me.
I'll just nods.
Yes, he, again, seems to know more than I want him to.
Agreed.
Well, we'll be cautious around him.
That is advised. Let us continue onward then.
Yes.
Martell will go back to the lift and then kind of pat her hand on the rocks and bids go.
Oh, I guess you kind of have to get them. Sorry.
That's what, like, you do that and you guys hear on the inside of the lift, and then you casually watch as Ebris flies over to the handle and pulls the lever all the way up, and the doors open again. Floor 75. Crazy magical doors and stupid things behind them. That was a joke.
Thank you. Thank you.
Still a bit tense out here.
Yeah, I'm reading that.
I take it you haven't been behind the door, Ebris.
No. I was up here once before. The master and his goons were trying to get in. Kind of just did what you all did. We no longer had any goons with us. Had a bunch of nicely cleaned robes, however.
Oh, I've heard of steam pressing robes, steam cleaning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Clean the flesh right out of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, as a matter of fact, if you have any dirty clothes, just toss them in the room, trigger the trap. They'll come out great.
So you got it open though.
If nothing else, now you know we're more competent than your former master.
It's a start. And to your Carmen Hasbard, the handmaiden will just gesture to the slightly ajar door. Don't say. We're in a wind tunnel.
Raquel just kind of looks at everyone. She's like,
Well, we risked our lives to open the door. I think somebody else needs its turn to go through.
Asvod raises a hand.
I was going to offer, but okay.
You want to go through hand in hand? Like, either or. I was going to go in sneakily, but if we're going to go in together. You know what, Lithian, you got this one.
I just figured if there's some sort of trap something on the other side of the door, I can probably take it the best.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go and push open the doors.
All right. You walk up to this, heavily enchanted magical metal door and slowly pull it open. And you look out on the other side, and everyone can very cleanly and clearly see there's just this jagged platform of black rock where it looks like there used to be a floor that's mostly kind of fallen away. And there's just this broken walkway attached to it that goes out for about 50 feet. And then hundreds of dangling chains dotting along in the darkness attached to something that you can't quite see on the ceiling. And off in the distance, quite a ways off, there is this large platform in the center of the room. And resting there is a dragon skull. Larger than words could easily describe. It is larger than the average abode someone would own in a city. You could say it is, something along the lines of. Let me just. At a glance, this great distance away, about 200 feet long. And it seems to be suspended in hundreds of chains.
This isn't creepy or ominous at all.
So when you all mentioned none of you could fly earlier, I see this is where you guys get off, huh?
Oh, we'll figure out a way through.
The obvious answers to reaching the center platform are basically two. One of which has been mentioned by Emrys, which is fly. The other is to Tarzan swing your way across the expansive gap to the platform via chain. Or a third other option that you could perhaps dream of.
So are these like chain links, like large iron or some similar type of chain link?
Long metal, linked chains.
So how much distance between each chain?
Varies.
And
Same
you
for
said it's
all their
about-
lengths as well.
Okay, so you said it's about 200 feet to the middle as well.
No, I didn't. It is
Oh, you
further
didn't.
than that. I said the dragon skull's about 200 feet long.
Ooh.
To reach the platform it's on it's not a great deal more. It's about 300 feet.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of rope.
You can always give everyone the ability to fly. Just do recall it will take a considerable amount of my magic to cast it on everyone present.
Well, I am pretty confident in my own ability to get across on the chains. I cannot speak for anybody else.
Like, I'm really good at acrobatics, but not that good at athletics. And holding yourself up and swinging seems kind of athletic.
I feel confident on the chains myself.
Last time I tried this, I fell.
That's true. Multiple times.
I am not wanting to try again.
If there's less people to cast the spell on, does that make it a lesser spell? Like, does it help?
Yes. It will consume less of my magic.
So 3 of us are flying and 2 of us are swinging.
I think so.
Well, 4 of us are flying. Let me correct myself. But Everest, you're always flying. So
Yes.
I do have one concern, though. Just one. Anti-magic.
You suspect there might be some in the room.
You know, if you're chaining something that is thousands of years old, that's probably magically inclined in some way or another, best way to keep it in would be to keep it in that kind of bubble, don't you think? Or am I wrong?
The problem with anti-magic is that generally everything else encased within it would cease to function if magical, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If the entity they're trying to contain is powerful and cannot be held by normal mundane means, they would need magical means to contain it. If they think they could have contained a sentient, soul-bound dragon soul in a box with no magic, then there wouldn't be a need for all of this. And she just sort of hand waves to the chasm and the chain.
I like where your head's at. All right, I'll trust.
Worst case, if we fall, I can slow us until we can decide what we need to do to save ourselves.
I'll just fly among the chains just in case.
Wise choice. Okay. Well, it sounds like the Handmaiden is going to cast Fly at 5th level to cast it on herself, onto Hasvard, and on to Jira, which will last 10 minutes as long as she remains concentrating on it. And you have a fly speed of 60 feet. Lithian and Martel, you have opted to swing across the chain. Martel, if you would like, given your very unique background in training and skill set, if you'd like to use performance to do this, you may.
Thank you. That's lovely. I was going to ask you about that.
Yes. Otherwise, Lithian, if you would like to make an athletics check for me, that would be great.
I can manage.
32.
Mm-hmm.
Martel does a routine across the chains.
29.
Wow.
Roll on that 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have a weirdly like showy, mildly enticing, partially erotic crossing from Martel, and then just the next ninja warrior from Lithian, just swinging from chain to chain to chain. As the other three, along with Erebus, comfortably flying across to land on the platform. We got a map.
Map?
Map?
We got a map.
I
Wow.
like this song.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a great song.
We
I'm the
got a
map. I'm the 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 map.
This is amazing and horrifying, and I love it. Not the song. The song is just bad.
Great song. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I suppose.
My browser doesn't like this map.
That is a beautiful map. Man.
Can't take credit for everything. I just did editing to a map that already existed.
Well, whoever made it, very beautiful. And I don't know
Does
what your
anyone-
editing was, but beautiful.
Is anyone
made
else doing like severe lag on it?
Nope.
9.
I always have
It is-
trouble with
It is.
trackpad.
It is a little slow. Yes. But it's not laggy.
Okay, I'm going to reload.
Yeah,
No
do that.
lag.
If it doesn't fix it, I probably can. 'Cause it's probably a lighting thing. Their new lighting is very resource hungry.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the reason why I wasn't overly fond. Amongst many other reasons, the force changeover to it is that this new lighting is, it's pretty resource hungry. It makes the browser eat up a bunch of memory. But
That is a shame.
I am just going to turn it off. It seems unnecessary. There's a single focal point here. So
No more lag.
yeah, it's the lighting. You land on the platform. You see all these pipes that are attached to it, and they range up into the ceiling. In front of you is this enormous dragon skull, suspended from hundreds of chains. Underneath it seems to be a small altar of some kind. Around it are destroyed remnants of what look like clockwork machinations, just left in rusting piles. But the oddest thing is, not too far from the skull, there appears to be a piano or an organ. As you stand there, in the unusual glow that is coming up from underneath you, you just kind of begin to notice as this hot steam begins to emit from this the holes in the dragon's skull, and the air becomes more humid. So, what was the plan?
Well, I didn't really have one before getting here. Piano is odd. Mr. Skull of a dragon, I suspect. Dragon Skull. Are you the one that talks to an old man sometimes?
I'll just stare at the skull blankly for a minute.
You would address me by my name.
Oh, well, I do not know your name. What is your name?
The first color.
Excuse me?
First. I think I heard Coer. Is that right?
Color.
Yeah.
Oh, Coer.
As always, with all my usual name spellings, I will provide that in the chat.
Less complicated spelling than I was doing for myself.
Yep.
So similar sounding, but different than the dragon that we're working towards. Okay.
Yeah, not Kraylor, Color.
Okay. I misheard the other one.
Kraylor is who we deal with.
The first color.
Does that name ring any bells? I know that's probably
Yeah,
a
make
long
it
shot, but
make a history check. All of you are more than welcome to make a history check.
Yeah, no.
You need a minimum of a 10 to get a little bit of information. Higher is always
Hey, I got 11.
nice.
I got a 21.
Ooh,
16.
okay. Lithian, Asvard. Yeah, you know its name. Really hard to not know its name. Big historical figure. It rings a bell to a lot of people because the era in which you live in is called Ark, after the ruination of Kalur. Martel. This is the first primordial dragon ever created. Kalur, the red dragon.
Then yes, Martel is much more visibly shaken than I was originally planning to do.
Ah, the first color. You were the first dragon.
There's no immediate response.
Okay.
Well, color. How is it you wound up here?
When the title bearers came to slay me, they discovered they could not rid my soul from this world. They anchored it to my skull, chained me here.
That is decidedly some information I think I'll take up with somebody when I speak to them next. Do you know the old man that is here?
The broken title bearer.
Ah. Yes, I believe that is him.
What of him?
Says he is bound here. He also said that he's unable to get past you.
I do not keep him here. I have no power over him.
You know who he is.
One of the ones that placed me here. One half of a broken coin.
I see. What is beyond you? Do you know? I assume this was once a city in which you dwelt.
There is nothing beyond me here. The city is a remnant of the final bastion where we fought and died.
I'll kind of look through her companions.
Oh, I'm fairly satisfied. Does anybody have questions for color?
Asvard points at foot, points at mouth, and shakes head.
Martel just nods.
If we had more time, I would ask for the first-hand account of your stand.
Well, it's entirely possible that we have all the time in the world. Scythian, any questions for color?
No, not at the moment.
Sure. Why is there a piano beside you? Or organ?
It belongs to my warden.
Is your warden?
One such as yourself. Mortal. Bound here to watch over me.
Imagine it's your soul that the mother is drawing on. Possibly she already said that. Um, hmm. Well, would you mind terribly if we took a quick look around?
You try my patience. But I can do nothing.
At the final statement, there was kind of a washing over of hot air, almost as if from an exhale from a body that just does not exist. It washes over the platform, and it scalds for a second. Like, you know that moment where you touch something just slightly too hot and you pull away, that sensation you have right after? That's what everyone's skin feels like for a brief moment.
Well, it is not my desire to infuriate you. But we are here for important things. Well, important to us.
And Martel will kind of start looking around.
As Martel starts, so will Hasvard. Yeah.
All right. What are you looking for? You need to know what you're looking for before I can ask you for a check.
Honestly,
Object.
Martel's looking for a card. She's hoping.
And that would be convenient.
It'd be great.
Things that stand out that aren't gears.
Or, a giant dragon skull.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting real specific. I like it. Sure, not
Yeah.
gears, a card. Gotcha. Does anyone else want to participate in this, or is this going to strictly be the two of them?
I want to go check out the piano.
Sure.
Jira is going to see if she can get a further response and maybe an interview.
If you want to try to give the sales pitch to Kalur to speak to him, you're more than welcome to try. I certainly will not stop.
No, she will ask him for his first-hand account of their last stand.
You just get another rolling of hot air, and you watch as fire alights in its eyes, the empty sockets glowing.
I have no interest in telling my story to a speck of dust such as yourself.
Not even if it means the world will hear from you.
The world that exists now is not the world I died for. None of them deserve to hear it.
Surely you have followers that are still alive. Would they not be exalted to hear from you?
What part of genocide don't you understand, mortal? The only people that are left that even care of an existence of a creature like myself are already here.
Lithian, Martel, Aswar, please make ability checks relevant to what you were doing. Investigation would be preferred.
Yes, I think investigation is. Fingers crossed for a card. I mean, there's no chance, but
We will
especially
see.
with rolls like that. A 16.
23.
Mhm.
I'm rolling my averages right now.
18.
18. Okay. Well, you guys kind of quietly begin stepping out to the platform, ranging around, listening as Curler continues to become increasingly agitated. Martel, you
Yeah,
don't
no, go
find
ahead.
any cards.
Dang it.
Asvard, you
I found a card?
you look through a lot of things. Ignoring a lot of the clockwork machination pieces, which are a surprising amount of what is up here. While you don't really find anything of significant or obvious value, you do kind of gather that it looks like someone's actually been working on an experiment of some kind here. Like they were trying to create an automaton, like the ones you saw dead down in the streets, on the floors below. Lithian, the organ, as we would tentatively call it, you do look at it and you can tell at one point it was a piano. Someone has modified it heavily, injecting many pipes into it and creating this unusual engine from various parts that you see sort of strewn around into this unusual amalgamation of classical music and still yet understood technology. Not yet understood technology.
Does it have any, like, runes or anything on it, or does it just look like pieced together?
Both. It looks pieced together, but there are obvious signs of magic etched into its surface.
I will call over the handmaiden.
Okay.
If she will.
Oh, yes. Whose token I forgot to put on here. Boop. Scoot you over there. Put Martel over here. That's right over here. There, talking to a big angry dragon. Yes, Lithian.
You are clearly more magically inclined than myself. There are many runes on this instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume a lot of them are to amplify and change sound, but I'm curious if any of them that you can see, if I were to press one of these keys, would eternally bind me here.
The handmaiden gives you a thoughtful look and then looks back at the instrument in front of her. That is a curious thought to have, and a cautious one.
It's
A
not
wise choice.
unreasonable.
And she takes a moment and does what she did before, where she will hum this tune and you'll watch this invisible wave of magical energy sort of wash outwards from her, and she'll kind of run a hand, not on the surface, but just over it, hovering above. And then after a couple of minutes again of investigating, listening to Kalur and his anger kind of brimming and the heat in the room increasing, she'll eventually turn back and look at you, her eyes glowing for a moment, and then when she blinks, they return to normal. No, there is no magic here that will bind you here for eternity. All of the magic here is used as a means for the instrument to make sound.
Thank you for checking.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it has been many, 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 many decades. Perhaps even centuries since Lithian has played the piano, but she's going to try.
I am intrigued greatly. Make a performance check. Or unless you actually have music proficiency in pianos.
No, I imagine it's one of those things that like you just as a rich kid you learn to play an instrument.
An instrument, yeah.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have kept up with it.
Yeah, okay. Then yeah, just make a performance check then.
Oh, I rolled a nat 20.
Nice.
22.
Oh, wow.
The dice love me today.
Yeah, there's
Slice some crap out of hot cross buns.
Yeah. There's an awkward moment where like the instrument seems pretty foreign to you. Like it's like, yeah, this once was a piano. You kind of have an idea of what you're doing. But there's several different types of pedals and all kinds of levers and knobs to pull and push, and you're like, kind of complicated. But you take the first tentative pushes of the keys, and not only does it make a relatively pleasant sound, you also watch one of the pipes just spit out a bunch of fire from the back. And there's this unusual but pleasant crackling that sort of follows each note, and the crackling is responsive to the key in which it's played in. And you decide to just give it a shot. And pulling from a long, old, mostly dusty memory of several lessons that you were given over decades, learning how to play an instrument, you've managed to successfully do a little bit of organ playing, all of which is accompanied by blasts of fire.
That's sick.
Think very much like Mad Max style.
Max?
Yeah.
That was my
Pretty
first
metal.
I love it.
And honestly, man, none of you were perceptive enough, which is why you don't notice sitting on one of the chains attached to the skull, not too far above both you and the handmaiden, Lithian, you hear a voice. Now, it has been some time since someone else has touched this instrument, but you have quite a flair for it. What are all of you doing in this place, angering such an already angry dragon? And you can see a metallic bronze-skinned elven woman sitting casually along one of the lengths of chain, the feet hanging in the air.
In any way familiar?
Not in any way familiar.
Well, we're looking for some things.
And what would you be looking for?
I assume that you're the warden here.
That would be correct. For 2,000 years and counting.
What you've done with this piano is very cool.
Thank you. And that's also a funny joke. She'll stand up and walk along the chain. Impeccable balance. And then we'll do a front flip, twisting spin midair, and then land at the foot of the skull.
Martel briefly forgets how horrified she is at coming to face with the enemy of all mortality, and claps for a second, and then realizes that she's face to face with the enemy of all mortality and kind of stops again.
I will ask again. What is it you seek here?
It has been a... Oh, go ahead, Lithian.
I was just going to ask, you didn't hear us talking with Kalor?
It was hard not to hear him. I had questions about the old man. The broken one who wanders the city. And why Kalur keeps him here. And I assure you, Kalur does not. He would be rid of the old man if he could.
Well, in all honesty, this is just the area where the old man says he can't get further.
Well, the doors to get into this room are challenging. Perhaps he just wasn't smart enough.
He has something we want. We're trying to give him something that he wants, so we can get that thing that we want. You know how it goes.
Roughly. If you could understand, I have not had much in the way of social interaction in the last couple thousand years. But I can imagine. So, if it's something you need from this room, if you tell me what it is, I might be able to provide it to you.
Well, it seems not, since Kalor is not the one keeping him here, and we're trying to find out why he is being kept here.
Well, that I don't know. To be quite honest with you, the old man has never been very forthcoming to me in our conversations.
He's very rude.
He is. He's got the very abrasive charm to him, though. Very good at playing lords and ladies. We have a game that we keep running and repeating to pass the time.
Well, I'm sure when you have thousands of years to play a game, you get pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the only broken god you know of here?
That I'm aware of, yes. Says he's been here for a couple hundred years. Sometimes he says he's been here for tens of thousands. Sometimes the dates for him change. Sometimes he's coming from the future. He's crazy and broken in every sense of the word. Something terrible must have happened to him.
Yes, well, no doubt. Honestly, this has been a journey that gets more and more trouble. Beginning to wonder if it's worth the trouble.
You and me both.
Are, I suppose, looking for fragments of broken gods.
An interesting quest. And what purposes do you have for finding pieces of gods?
Just kind of shakes her head.
I blame this on you, Lithian. You've got me all nervous about lying now. Trying to restore what was broken. A different, less angry dragon.
Let me guess. None of you look like the usual zealots that would try to revive one of the primordial dragons. So it must be the Protractorate Dragon Kraylor then, yes?
All nods.
And what do you plan on doing when you revive a dragon like that? What purpose does that serve?
Well, in all honesty, it seems like pretty soon we'll be dealing with another dragon.
She just kind of points at Kaler.
As somebody up above has been drawing on his soul.
Yes, the dragon matron, Morgana.
That's her.
She has visited. We've met.
I'm sure she has. She's nice enough, and I hope that her intentions are true to what she told me they are.
They seem honest to me as well. I would not allow her to siphon the power if I thought she was not true to her word.
I wasn't aware there was a warden, so I am glad that there is somebody being a go-between. As I said, I do like her, and I trust her for the most part.
Funny enough, you should say that. Morgana was once a warden as well. There's a funny thing that the title bearers insisted upon doing when they took down the dragons made by the primordials all those years ago, was to leave them with overseers, the ones they could not get rid of. So if you ever find a dragon living somewhere, especially one that's been placed into a position by a title bearer, you will find one of us.
Well, does that seem like an unwise plan? Keep dragons guarded?
It's Just oh so tedious. Filler
Yes,
is not one for conversation. You hear what sounds like a gigantic huff from the skull.
Yeah, Martel gives a bit of a half smile.
No, I imagine not. He is the first. Others
Also,
of his kind may have changed, may be different, but him, I imagine he is still the same.
yes, full of hot air.
Oh. That gets a full-blown smile from Martel.
She leans against the skull. Although, pardon me in my humor. I suspect if any of you tried something similar, Kalur, even in his skeletal form, would probably still reduce you to ash. He would never admit to it, but we've built a rapport since we've been trapped here together.
Time does funny things.
Well, as I said to him, I'll say to you, I did not come here with the intention of upsetting him. If it were possible to be on his good side, I would be.
You were born to the wrong side, then.
Hell just shrugs.
I am what I am, and I'm not really on any side. As I said, I believe in Morgana and what she wants to do. I have no ill will towards the dragons. It's not their fault they were born to be what they are.
Well, I suppose we could sit here and talk about the politics of the past. Well, I've got several more millennia on my watch, but I suspect most of you would die by then. If you're trying to find a way to free the old man, I suggest figuring out what of his memories are real and what are illusion. I think if you could free him from that, then he might be able to free himself. But that is grand and vague and still not very helpful, but it's about all I know.
After seeing all this, I was honestly going to suggest to my friends that we regroup and rethink.
Be wise.
Well,
Go
Go
ahead.
I was just saying,
No.
I suppose we should go then. But if you have more things.
No, I have nothing more. I do regret that I cannot free you from your watch, but alas, I do believe it is important.
I will be free in time. It's a matter of waiting. Especially if the matron Morgana is successful with her plans. Then my tether to this big old skull will be broken.
Thank you for your help.
Well, of course. Thank you for visiting.
Then, do me a favor. If anybody else, comes in asking what we're doing, just don't tell them. It is meant to be a secret. There's something about this place that's shaken me.
Stand on the bones of a long dead society. Billions turn to dust. If you were a superstitious type, perhaps you think it is the billions of shrieks that still reverberate in the air. Do not forget that the creation war was still just that, a war. Mosey on along then. I will keep your secret unless better conversationalists come along. He smiles.
Curtsies.
I appreciate it. Oh, I do wish we could have more time. We really must regroup. Oh, is there an easier way across? Not everybody can swing like I do, or she does.
Points at Lithian.
Well, I did enjoy the show. But if you want the easy way across, I can provide one.
Would be helpful, thank you.
She walks over to the far side of the platform, raises both hands up in the air, and you watch as she gestures and pulls empty hands down towards her. The chains snake down, animated, and begin weaving themselves into a chain bridge. Just don't make any false steps.
Before we head out, Hasbar does a small bow to the skull and says, "May your bloodline find happiness," and then leaves. Bye-bye.
You all cross the bridge to exit the chamber. And as you leave and that heavily locked door begins swinging closed behind you, you hear the big booming voice of Kalur speaking to his ward and go, "I'm a skeleton. I don't have any blood." And that's where we end the session.
He has a whole bunch of great grandbabies, okay? Does he not know about the great grandbabies?
Who knows? You don't.
Again, he's the enemy of all mortality.
Yeah,
I was not wishing anything for him.
Yeah, low key, like when the primordial gods wanted all of the world to be made into a clean slate, they made him to kill everybody. So, just saying. It's a weird wish. I hope all of your genocide-bringing babies have a great life.
I didn't know. No, we're saying that these little red ones are going to be good dragons. And that's what we've all been trying to say. And I'm trying to get behind it.
Hate that.
He does. He doesn't
basically
have to,
to his face were like, "Hey, screw you."
Yeah.
What? No.
We hope all your babies do exactly the opposite of what you dream of, what you wish, what you've been built for.
Become house pets.
What every waking moment of your life is about. We hope your kids don't do it.
Yeah, I hope they're happy and are able to enjoy life without having to destroy everything.
Well,
Is that so wrong?
Basically went, screw you, to him.
Yeah, yes. I mean, funny thing, the argument. Yes, because it's hard to imagine, Kyle, because you were born a person and raised in a different way in a completely different society. But could you imagine if you came into existence completely sentient with the sole designation to destroy and consume everything else that has a beating heart?
I'm going to not make references to bad things. But
I'm just saying, that's what would make him happy.
Yes, I do get that. Mine was a pure family situation, but fine.
No,
yours is they're evil beings from being made to be evil beings.
I'm just saying, You've not sat down and had coffee with Kaler. You don't know him.
You're right. I don't. I would love
It's
to.
roughly equivalent to you wishing well to a Banus. Like, it just isn't.
That's not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes, it is. Guess what? The difference between Kaler and a Banus is that a Banus survived.
Yeah.
That's valid.
That is literally the line that is drawn in the sand there. That's it. One was clever enough to survive by sacrificing all of his brothers and sisters to death. Anyway.
Thanks for hanging out, chat. Love you guys.
Yeah. All my technical difficulties have finished for now, but I'm getting a new case next week, so hopefully I don't suddenly screw up something and something else explodes. Hopefully everything will be ready and great. Otherwise, maybe not. Who knows? Tomorrow I have Moonrise. I forgot about that. Sorry, guys. I love you. This has been a heck of a week. But yeah, tomorrow, noon? 10? 10. I think. Pardon me while I quickly check my upcoming game tab. Yeah, 10 a.m. Pacific. Moonrise tomorrow and Saturday. It's gonna be great. They're fighting a big, angry Minotaur creature from the Merc. Funnily enough, only one person in this party, but they fought one in this campaign before. Back when Ragnar was here, and you guys were at that tavern. Yeah. Big, angry Merc.
Wish them luck.
Me too. They've been trying to really get their act together. This is going to find out if they're actually done it. All right. Well, that's that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tomorrow, Moonrise. Don't miss it. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in and watching and listening. And if you can do nothing else, please try and make good choices. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.